Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and hello to everyone else. Hope everyone is doing good. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to fix your sleep. Why? Because nowadays everyone oversleeps and everyone undersleeps. Some people don't sleep at all. The point is nowadays everyone's got terrible sleep. And I think I worked out how to solve it, so let me share it with the rest of you. So the first step I want to talk about is, well, actually waking up. And the first thing you want to do is obviously set what time you want to wake up. Now, ideally, it should be somewhat early, whether it's 6 a.m., 7 a.m. It should be like early and realistic to you. So, as an example, myself, I'm a Muslim, so I'm usually up for Fajr time, which nowadays is around 4:45 in the morning. But if you're not Muslim, then bro, just set it early relative to school, to work, and basically set it to that time, and then just stick to that time every day, weekends included, to build a consistent sleep schedule that helps your circadian rhythm. I guess as a step 1.5, make sure you actually have a good reason as to why you're getting up. If you just set yourself an early wake up time just for the sake of waking up early, bro, you're probably going to go back to sleep afterwards. And usually what I see around me when I'm up this early in the morning is I'll see people up this early either to pray Fajr like I do, or I guess you could call it the pre-dawn prayer, or those who are Muslim, they get up to walk their dogs. Like they're usually up even earlier than I am to walk their dogs, I'll be honest. But either way, try make it something that you know you won't be able to do later in the day, and then just schedule it for that time slot in the morning, and you'll find that you'll have a bit more drive to get up in the early mornings than you usually would. Step number 2 is to get light. It can be sunlight, it can be artificial light. Get light first thing in the morning. Okay, that will really help wake you up, and that will really make sure that you don't go back to sleep. And finally, step 3, do some kind of exercise. Literally, like any form of exercise. It can be walking, a light jog, skipping, shadow boxing. I mean, if you want to like go to the gym first thing in the morning and hit a full workout, like that's fine. Me personally, I prefer to do my gym workouts later in the day and do like light exercise, like go for a walk early in the morning or a light jog. It's really up to you, but I would highly recommend you do some sort of light exercise upon waking up, and hopefully you're able to implement that, and waking up should be easier for you. Now let's talk about the bedtime routine. I'm gonna go under the assumption that most of you are brushing your teeth and flossing and also brushing your tongue. I'm just gonna assume most of you have hygiene, right? And so for the actual bedtime like routine part of this video, the first thing to actually do is to go to bed early, but not for the sake of sleeping early. For some reason, whenever anyone gives sleep advice, they tell you to sleep early. I've always found that weird, and well, I would highly recommend checking out the channel Insomnia Talks. But basically, to sum it up, you don't exactly choose what time you fall asleep. You fall asleep based on how tired you are. In fact, the only way to really fall asleep is through something called your sleep drive. And the only way to increase your sleep drive is to stay up for longer hours. Hence why I said earlier in the video to wake up early. But the reason I say to get into bed early, not for the sake of sleeping, because you never want to force yourself to sleep or plead with sleep, otherwise it's just going to add more stress, and that's already keeping everyone up nowadays. And so the reason I say to go to bed early is just to put yourself in the right environment, because we're all a bunch of addicted degenerates. I'm joking, but essentially, if you're not in the right environment, you're likely going to end up sleeping late anyways. So that's why I say to go to bed early, but not for the intention of falling asleep. But that takes me on to step 1.5, and that's to avoid social media, avoid video games, but do something that relaxes you. The reason I say to avoid social media is because it's still connecting you to the real world somehow, in some way, in some regard, and that's the last thing you want on your mind when you're trying to fall asleep. You don't want to be involved with the horrible affairs of the real world. You just wanna completely detach from it. And the reason I say not to play video games is because you need to have a level of cognitive presence and a level of awareness to be playing them. You know, you can't just play video games on autopilot. And that's why I say to avoid both of those things. But if you do want to watch something before you sleep, dude, watch something long form, like something that you don't really need to engage with too much. Maybe like a movie, a documentary, a really long YouTube video. YouTube videos are a bit of a sticky one because, you know, you got YouTube Shorts, which people can fall into. But overall, if you're gonna watch something, I recommend some kind of long form content. You know, like previously mentioned, movie, documentary, etc., etc. Or you could do what I do and read. I personally like to read a book, and the whole purpose of this is to get involved with something that isn't, you know, part of the real world. There's something that does remind you of what's going on in the world. It's something that doesn't remind you of work or school. It's just, you know, you're investing your attention into this new reality that you just help to, you hope helps you relax until you're ready to sleep. So that's step 1.5. And finally, step 2, set your alarm clock far away. Now, I was thinking, okay, is this like a bedtime thing or a wake up thing? Doesn't matter. Just make sure you set your alarm clock far away so that when you do wake up in the morning, you don't really have a choice but to get up and then go turn it off. And yeah, that's kind of all the advice I've got for today. All the other wishy-washy advice out there, you know, they say, you know, to take warm baths, eat kiwi fruits, make sure the temperature of your bedroom is right. Like that's all nice and stuff, but that's not what you should be prioritizing. I feel like what I've said in this video, that's what you should prioritize. You know, get sunlight, make sure you're in bed, but not just for the sake of sleeping. Like do something relaxing while you're in bed, read, or watch a movie. No social media, no video games. Set your alarm far away. All these things are what I personally believe you should be prioritizing in order to fix your sleep. Sorry, I totally forgot to add this while recording. So in terms of actually going to bed early and what that means for everyone, if you're a Muslim, then you'll know that we have our 5th prayer of the day, which we call Isha, and that's basically when it goes dark. And that's usually the best time to just pray and get in bed if you're not sleepy. Whether you're sleepy or not, as soon as it hits Isha or like close to that, just, you know, get in bed and get ready to sleep, but don't like fall asleep. If you're a non-Muslim, how do you actually determine what going to bed early is? Well, basically the simplest thing to do is just look up at the sky, bro. If it's pitch black outside and it's not midnight and you're not really that tired, maybe that's your sign to, okay, I'm not sleepy right now, but, you know, let me unwind for the day. Let me, you know, brush my teeth or whatever. Can't speak English, can I? Brush your teeth, floss your teeth. I really hope you guys are doing this, by the way. Brush and floss your teeth. Do not forget that. But do that, and then, you know, get into bed. If you want to watch Netflix before you sleep, fine, you know, do that. And then make sure you set your alarm far away. And then just, you know, stay in bed and chill till you are ready to sleep. So as soon as you're sleepy, bam, you go right to sleep. All right, that's gonna do it for the sleep video. Hope you will find that useful. Yeah, that's kind of it from me. I'll see you all next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and goodbye to everyone else.